Good morning, guys. I hope you're doing well today. It's a nice, nippy day here in Sacramento, Roseville, California. Wearing my jacket just like it was yesterday. Today I wanted to come at you and talk about just existence in general. What flabbergasts me, in some ways, not in every way, because I can understand, I have empathy, I do not necessarily judge to any extreme most people for this, because we have to restart our lives every time we're born, whatever, if you believe in reincarnation, what have you. I'm not talking about that, but I'm saying from generation to generation, we live maybe 80 years, all right, and a generation is considered approximately 20 years, depending on which generation about which you're talking. So when we're born, with each generation, we have to relearn everything that society has learned over the past 6 to 10,000 years of civilization. History, mathematics, science, physics, everything you can think of. Interpersonal relationships. So in that light, I cannot necessarily judge those from 0 to 20 who have silly perspectives on a great many things, especially with respect to socialism and communism and that nonsense. I myself am only 32 years old, and I know that I know very little about anything. And I'm a pretty smart dude, but I know very little about anything. So the time horizon of a human life is very small. That being said, I bring it up because just as a person like Chris Langan discusses, it is very logical to believe in a greater power, to believe in God. It is not illogical. It is not believing in some airy-fairy thing that is intangible, unconscious, beyond us, whatever you want to say. It's very logical. The very concept of existing makes no sense. How are we here? How do we think? How is existence at all? And that ties into humans, in our perception, in our how we react to things, being reverse entropy. I've said this probably 10 times and it never gains any traction. For some reason, people don't understand what I'm saying when I say we are reverse entropy. Humans are reverse entropy. Get what I just said there. Listen. We're the ones that create the universe around us because we have consciousness, because we can perceive and create. So the universe is constantly tending towards greater entropy. We rage against the dying of that light through our creations. So in that light, I cannot be too judgmental of those who believe that there is no God. Well, I mean, I do have a judgment against that, and it bothers the crap out of me. I'm not going to lie. But some of the silly perspectives like communism and socialism, and we see through the demographics and the statistics and the studies and whatnot, that as people age, they tend to go more and more conservative. It's not because you become, your mind gets ossified or hardened necessarily. It's because you realize how stupid you were before. And I was a liberal when I was younger. I'm not going to lie. At least I considered myself a liberal for a few years. Because I thought that social programs were a good idea. And at that time, I hadn't realized, you can't vest that amount of power in the hands of a few fallible human beings. The very best you can do is hope to do that with an angel or God himself, what have you, and he'd be able to do it. But if you had that, you wouldn't need governments. You see, it doesn't follow. Nevertheless, the general idea I bring to you today is existence. I talk about, the vast expanse of the universe being 94 billion light years across, 13.7 billion years old, having originated from Peoria, the Big Bang, if you believe in that stuff. I don't know, it seems that's what most scientists believe, that the Big Bang is at least tending towards what's correct. I don't know. It's still a creation myth. But all of that science and everything, what initiated the Big Bang? Why did it have to be? It wasn't have to. Why was it even? So you still ask the same fundamental questions. It makes no sense. How are we here? How is existence? And some scientists talk of the God of the gaps, where if you don't understand something, you say it's God, but they get it backwards. It's not that. It's we constantly learn more and more, and because of that, we say that wasn't God that did it. We got it backwards. There's always more to learn. It's infinity. It's a tendency towards infinite. Now, we know of, for instance, quarks, gluons, leptons, up-down quarks, etc., electrons, the fundamental building blocks of all matter in the universe, called fundamental particles. They are the things of which atoms are made. Okay? That's what we can currently see with our greatest zooms, scanning electron microscopes, etc. No doubt we will get even farther down and see even smaller particles in the future. And with the great atom smashers like the Large Hadron Collider, we've seen some of that. We found the Higgs boson back in 2010, or at least the evidence of it, trace evidence, which is good enough to say, yeah, we found it, at least based upon what the scientists say. And I think it's probably, yeah, they probably did find it. The smallest unit of measure, and it's the thing that, the smallest unit of measure beyond which our science, mathematics, and physics breaks down is what's known as a, what is it again? A Planck unit of time-space, or time length, if you will. I believe it's 10 to the negative 34th meters. So it's a very, very, very tiny size. And they define time in the same way. It's time-space, so it makes sense. And when you get to those kinds of concepts, you're very well versed in relativity and time-space continuum, all that fun stuff. But anyways, that's the smallest unit of distance time. As a result, that is what we define our maximum temperature by. Because temperature is measured by the movement of the particles within a body, a volume of liquid or air, okay? So if the atoms are moving very fast, the temperature is considered high. You determine speed, rate, by time-space. It's determined, therefore, by the smallest unit of time-space, which is the Planck constant, 10 to the negative 34, not constant, but a unit, 10 to the negative 34th. So these are all physics ideas and concepts, from the smallest to the very largest, the universe being 94 billion light years across, and us being right in the middle in terms of size and experience. We are the great projectors, the perceivers, and made in God's image. Existence doesn't make sense without God. You have consciousness. You exist. You can think. You can feel. You are. The only thing that I would see myself as reasonably judging somebody based upon is how they react to the experiences of their life, because that's what creates the future. How you react to the adversities of your life in the past, from the past, in your present, is what creates the future. Okay? You are the channel, the great channel. We're the ones that need to be built. Before you can build anything else, you must build the soul. It's the most important thing. And how you do that is believing in God, which is to say, if you're understanding what I'm saying here, believing in yourself. Because you are the creator of the universe around you. There'd be no purpose in it if you weren't in it. It wouldn't exist if you didn't perceive it. I know that's hard to grasp, but it only exists because you are here to perceive it as existing. And us perhaps being the first, possibly. I'm not saying that's the case, but I'm saying it's possible because they have not shown themselves otherworldly beings. It is especially important for us to grasp that, because we are the ones that are going to determine where the entirety of the universe goes. That's all I got for today. Peace.